Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again with another Across the Timeways card review, and we have 8 warrior cards revealed. I believe I trolled it. A lot of them to go over, not the fabled legendary, which we are still waiting on, so we'll have one more review for that card, but there is some really good stuff here, including 1 mana, gain 10 armor. There's a drawback, but my god, this is looking like some pretty good control warrior stuff in this set. So we're gonna take a look at these cards. You want to win them. We're giving away 2 regular pre-orders and 3 mega bundles out of my pocket. To enter the giveaway, like and comment on the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I'll add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go bow route. So let's start off with a brand new terrible, no, it's a pretty bad card. New dragon though, the Stadium Announcer. It is a 4 mana 3/3 dragon with rewind, so you can do it again if you don't like the result, which it's probably gonna happen. Battle cry, both players equip a random weapon, give yours +1/+1. So you got 2 shots to get like a much better weapon than your opponent. Like that could be pretty good, I guess, or you just kind of get some garbage, but overall you're always going to give your opponent a weapon to use, which it just feels like this is not worth playing in your deck. Like I just don't see it. It's kind of funny and wild. You could give your opponent like Cursed Blade. That's a possibility. They could get that randomly, which is pretty funny, but I don't know. Like, yeah, you might get you probably almost always get a better weapon with rewind plus the buff, right? You're likely going to get a better weapon, but like, am I playing this in my deck? Is it worth playing a 4 mana 3/3, equip a random weapon that will probably be a bit better than my opponent's? I just don't see it. I don't see that as like a realistic thing. And yeah, it's got the Dragon Tribe, so you can like do kindred stuff or whatever, but overall, I just think it's another kind of bad rewind card. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, yeah, just getting like a almost guaranteed better weapon than my opponent will be worth it. And I don't mind giving them a weapon, or they get something they can't even attack with or something, or I remove their weapon, right? This could remove a weapon they have equipped that maybe they care about. But even like the one for the card we reveal, the Shaman guy, it'll just destroy it and shuffle it. So they would still, you know, not lose the weapon permanently, but not have it equipped. Regardless, I'm giving this a 1 out of 5 in standard, a 1 in wild. I don't see it. Even with the insane Cursed Blade plays you could possibly hit, or you give them Aluneth and they like overdraw and fatigue to death in wild. There's a lot more troll capabilities with this in wild, but I just cannot imagine this is a card I really want to play in my constructed ladder deck. Next we have a card draw option for warrior, which is always pretty rare. For Glory, a 5 mana spell. It draws 2 cards, so that's it. However, it costs 1 less for each minion your opponent controls. So if they have 5 minions on the board, you can draw 2 cards for free. It's on the house. And to be better than Arcane Intellect, they need, what, 3 minions? So it's 2, which is not that, you know, rare and oddity thing. And if you're playing a more controlling strategy against the slower decks, you typically don't want to draw that rapidly. Like, it's not as big a deal. Whereas against the aggressive decks, yeah, I really want to try and draw, find my answers and get my removal. And for Glory is going to be cheaper way more often against those decks. So it kind of sucks in the matchups where it's more tolerable to suck, and it's a lot better in the matchups where, yeah, I really need to get that cheap draw and get it going. And of course, this could be very meta dependent. If we're not in a very minion heavy meta and we're not facing a lot of decks that are going very wide, this card's probably not worth the cut, but typically there's a good mix of both, and I could see this slotting in, yeah, to a more controlling strategy, a quest warrior, maybe something like that. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It's card draw that can go to 0, and you will see that there is something we can do to possibly speed this up on top of that. So yeah, 3 out of 5 in standard and a 3 out of 5 in wild, because again, card draw is just always a premium for warrior, and you have like the 2 mana 2/6 summon some stuff like that taunt from back in the day. It doesn't really see played a while, but you can see how you could play that with For Glory. It's almost free, like, and a lot of times it can be free if they got stuff on the board and you could do other things. So I'll give it a 3 across the board. I think it could see a bit of play. Next, we have some disruption for warrior. That's just a weird one. It's a 2 mana spell, slow, motion. Your opponent's cards cost one more next turn. That is every single card that they could possibly play will cost one more. And if you play two of these, I believe it should stack that they'll cost two more, right? So I don't know what warrior deck really wants this, but it could stall a possible combo turn, could just slow your opponent down. Disruption in Hearthstone almost always sees a way to find play some way, and you see the cult neophytes of the world. I mean, even like the customs enforcer card or whatever sees play right now. Like, you just never know. And this is disruption. Maybe a certain control deck just wants to slow the opponent down. You know they're probably going to curve into their 3-drop. I play this on 2. Well, maybe they just pass, right? That could work out all right. Buy yourself some time. You never know. So disruption can be valuable. No idea what it slots into, what it's going to be doing. But again, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. And a wild disruption, again, very valuable. Maybe you're playing a more control-y warrior deck or a combo warrior deck. We've seen with like Thaddeus and stuff that with like chemical spell, like that's close to being good. This could be another card to just, slow your opponent down to get to a certain win condition. So yeah, I'll get, again, 3 across the board. I think it has validity in both standard and wild. Next, we have a pretty good warrior spell, I think, again. Precursory. I don't know, Struck. I'm so bad with words. It's a 2-mana spell. It deals 3 damage. Again, that could go anywhere to a minion, to the face. However, if you're holding a minion that costs 5 or more, and when you're playing warrior, pretty common these days, you're going to be doing that, right? You draw a minion. It's 2-mana, deal 3, draw a minion. That's fantastic, right? You're tutoring a specific card out of your deck as a minion, and you're playing a lot of either like big taunts these days. You got the turtle, Ancient of Yore, like you got a lot of either taunt stuff or whatever. It's not that hard to have a card that costs 5 or more in a class like warrior. You really don't mind, and sort of got the dragon on there that you might be holding, right? So solid card, can go into a ton of warrior decks, more on the later game side of thing, not so much like a tempo aggro warrior, right? But even dragon warrior, they play plenty of cards at like 5 or more. Really solid card. And another one that absolutely could see play in wild too, right? Like, it's just a really solid card. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 in standard, a 4 out of 5 in wild. It can even present lethality. You need that little extra bit of burn. This can do that. It's a great card. And obviously, it's not fantastic if you're not playing a good amount of minions 5 or more. But again, you're playing warrior. It's a pretty good shot that's going on, especially when you have a lot of tutors for minions and all of that. It's likely going to be happening. And well, speaking of a minion that costs 5 or more, we have the Undefeated Champion at 8 mana, 13 minion, but oh boy, it's got some downside here. It's got Rush, Battle Cry, fill your opponent's board with random 1-cost minions. That is oof. I mean, if their board's already full, you're getting an 8 mana 13/13. That's great, but this is definitely a card I never want to play from in hand. I want to cheat it out some way. We're gonna look at a card next that can cheat this out. We also already have Chemical Spill, right? And you get a 13/8 rush. That's not the worst, not the best, but not the worst, and that could be pretty good. But yeah, giving your opponent a bunch of 1-drops could just be an awful idea. I don't think there's any in standard with poisonous that can really screw you with this, but overall, it's never going to be worth it unless I could cheat this out. And even then, when you have stuff like the turtle and like starships and zilliacs, I don't know if this is something I really want to do. And in an arena, I feel like this is unpickable, terrible, unless you could really draft specifically around it. Arena, or sorry, wild, you can like cheat it out and stuff. But overall, I'm giving this a 1 out of 5 in standard, a 1 out of 5 in wild. I don't see this being a playable card, even like big warrior or whatever. It can let you play the draw spell for 0, don't get me wrong, but overall, yeah, I'm not sold on this being a playable card. But the idea is I can play this card, Gladiatorial Combat, a 5-mana epic spell where you summon a random minion from your deck. You summon a 5/5 tiger with stealth for your opponent. So ironically, if you cheat out that guy, right, you can't even kill the tiger. You can't kill it. But cards like this, well, what if I haven't drawn Totolara yet, the turtle? Well, I'll summon that. They'll get a 5/5. I get a turtle. I could cheat out Zilliax, right? This could be really good in a big warrior deck only. It's the only thing you would ever play this in, is if you could cheat out a really big minion, but that's kind of going on right now, right? Especially like Mech Warrior. Would Mech Warrior play this? You could cheat out maybe Testing Dummy, wouldn't be bad, but then you might hit like Inventor Boom. It's probably, you break even kind of on like an Ancient of Yore, I guess, but you give them a 5/5 compared to just playing it. It's a weird one. It's very, very build aroundy, right? Like you have to play a very narrow subset of minions, but you could just do like Yasandra maybe. I don't know. So it's a weird one in that regard, but cards like this historically have seen play a lot of the time, where you cheat out one big stupid thing and scam your opponent. It's purely a scam card. I'm not a fan of these cards. I don't think they're fun design, because they're either terrible or they're really toxic. Will this be one of those that's really good? It's hard to say. I'm going to give it a 3 for its potential. Again, we have a lot of cards out there right now that really benefit from something like this, that already see play, and maybe you could build it even more around it, where, yeah, it might be worth it. So we'll go with a 3. I just don't want this card to see play. I just don't enjoy that play style. And in Wild, you got like Rattle Gore and even crazier stuff. I could see this being another way to like tutor Thaddeus in Wild, where there's like this Thaddeus warrior that goes around that I've been OTK'd on turn 5 by that deck multiple times. It might be something like that too, or a weird Mechathune deck even. You never know. So even in Wild, I'll give it a 3. It's got a shot. You never know with the possibilities of cheating a bunch of mana from a specific build around in your deck. So yeah, 3 across the board. A lot of these cards seem to have Wild validity, which doesn't happen too often, I feel like. This card definitely doesn't. The new dragon, another dragon, which I like, but it's very specific style of card in the Heir of Hereafter, or Hereafter. Is it pronounced the same way? Probably not. It's a 5-mana 2/6 dragon with Taunt, Battle Cry. You gain +2/+2 for each damaged minion. So again, not really gonna go into your traditional dragon deck. This is more of an enraged card where you want a bunch of stuff damaged on the board. You only really need 2 minions to be damaged, and it can be friendly or enemy. It's any damaged minion, where you all of a sudden have a 5-mana 4/10 taunt, right? Or even, no, sorry, a 6/10. It would be a 6/10 with 2 damaged things. 3 gets pretty crazy. So it doesn't take too much for this to be a bunch of stats. It's just like, is that ever enough these days? I don't know. It's got to get to a point where just that many stats matter, right? Like, also, you don't want to cheat this out. This wants the battle cries, so you don't want it in that style of deck either. But yeah, 2 damaged minions, I feel like it's basically worth the price of this card, and maybe that's good enough for a dragon deck where you have the 6/6 that deals 3, that can self-damage, that could, you know, damage other things, and then you follow it up with a Heir. That could be okay. It might work. It probably won't, and we haven't seen like an enraged warrior style of thing work in standard, even though there's a ton of support for it right now. We got a bunch last expansion. It hasn't really taken off in recent times, but a card like this might happen. I'm gonna bet towards probably not. I'm gonna stick with a 2 out of 5 for now. I look post rotation. Dragon Warrior could be a lot scarier when there's not like this, you know, the hydration stuff and StarCraft stuff to fall back on. This could be a really serious card to look at post rotation. But right now, I'm gonna say 2 out of 5 in standard, a 1 in Wild where that strat's way too slow and you want to be killing people like charging Frothings already or whatever. But yeah, look out for this card maybe in the future if it doesn't take off immediately. I don't think it's bad. I just think, yeah, like right now, maybe not as much. And then lastly, I was talking about not just summoning minions with an 8-drop. There's actually a pretty crazy spell here in Unleash the Crocolisks. It's like Unleash the Hounds, right? You get 1 mana. You gain 10 armor. You summon 2 2/3 beasts for your opponent. So even at the end of the day, you play this, you're still netting out over, I guess, that turn, 6 armor. If they attack it with the 2/3s, they're not buffed or whatever, you'll still have 6 armor. But we looked at that draw card thing earlier, that'll discount this. But I just look at this card as something like, I'm on 6 mana, I could play Unleash the Crocolisks and then Brawl. I make the odds of my Brawl being 1 better, right? They're getting a bunch of crocs, who cares if they win that Brawl? That's not bad. And I could probably draw a bunch of cards for cheap if they have just 3 minions on the board. All of a sudden my draw spell is 0. I brawl and maybe I win it, or they just left with a 2-3, or you're Zeddy and the best thing wins and you go Zeddy RNG. I never win a brawl, but that's great. That's just one scenario. Just gaining armor is fantastic. What if their board is full? Well, you just gain 10 armor for 1 mana, and that's just really, really good. And armor is fantastic. You can combo it with like Shield Slam or that 3 mana. I can't remember what it's called. I haven't seen a lot of plays. Fortify, the 3 mana spell. You can combo it with that and deal 13 damage to a minion for 4 mana. That's phenomenal. And yeah, I don't see what control-y style of deck does not want this. It's so good with the card draw option, with like any board clear to set up, get those beasts in there. It's so solid. And it's, man, the armor gain in Hearthstone's getting crazy. And you can run 2 of them. It could be 2 mana, gain 20 armor, summon 4 beasts, draw a bunch of cards, brawl. Like, it's super good card to me in standard. I'm not gonna give it a 5. That's just the control player me talking like, oh yeah, I want to gain armor and clear the board and never die and bore my opponent to death. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 4 and a 5 in standard. Phenomenal control card. And in wild, think about like Shield Shatter, right? Or whatever it's called, the 10 mana spell that you need 10 armor, I think, for it to go to 0. This just does it. And you kill the Crocs, and that's so good. That is such a great wild card, and that's already a thing. You definitely don't mind that. And you know, pretty good with Odin. 1 mana, deal 10 damage or sanitize, can clear the board. Like, Wild really likes this card. This is a phenomenal wild card too. I would absolutely play this in like Arena Warrior, a Control Warrior thing, or this just makes it easier for Mark to OTK with the Soulbound Ash Tongue card and Shield Slab. Like, this is a great card for the control enthusiasts like myself. So yeah, 4 out of 5 in standard and wild. I think it's in both formats is great. And once a control card is usually not that great. It's actually, yeah, I don't really think you should draft this in Arena. It's probably really bad in Arena, but when you build around it, your deck's built around it, I think this is a really, really good control card. So there you go, a ton of warrior cards. I think they got some really good stuff. It's pretty much almost all control oriented, dragon / scam, but I like it. But we still have one more card left. It is the Fabled Legendary. We will have a review on that card late tonight, I believe. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.